Today's Cleveland Browns report is presented to you by Aura, an all-in-one digital safety company that keeps yourself and your wallet protected from the hacksters when you are online. Start today with a free trial at aura.com/chatsports. We'll tell you more about their awesome service later on in today's show. But we've got a lot of stuff to cover on today's show. We've got an interesting story out there about a potential new stadium name coming. FirstEnergy out, something in. Plus, we're going to break down this wild, garbage, crazy idea of trading Baker Mayfield for Jimmy Garoppolo. So that is coming up in the second half of the show. But first, start things off by heading down to the little thumbs up icon, tapping that bad boy, get that box checked. Here at Chat Sports, we love to do competitions. And in the month of June, we're going to try and see which channel can get the most likes. So let's be sure we are number one by hitting that thumbs up icon. First up, though, is a new stadium name coming. So there was a resolution proposed and now passed by Cleveland City Council to strip FirstEnergy from the Browns Stadium. All right, Daryl Reuter, who he's got some beef with Deshaun Watson, but that's a separate story. He tweeted out this morning, Cleveland City Council passed a resolution calling for FirstEnergy to be removed from stadium name. Browns have said not happening. Council removed it from legislation, approving $10 million in repairs and call it the municipally owned facility located at 100 Alpha Lerner Way. That is an awesome new stadium name right there. But the reason why the Browns are saying this is not happening is they want the money from FirstEnergy, which is currently being exposed and investigated for a bunch of fraud, scheming. It's kind of like knockoff Ozark, it feels like. A lot of shady stuff going on right there, and Cleveland doesn't want the name to be after them, and that makes some sense. So the city council is pushing to strip the name. The Browns, of course, are going, no. They give us millions of dollars every single season for that naming rights. We're not going to go and remove it and find a new partner out there. So we asked this question, was it like 2 weeks ago, I think, somewhere in that range, of giving out some new stadium name ideas. And now we've got some motion to this, right? The story has some legs. So give me your best stadium name idea down in the comments section. I only ask, though, that you put hashtag Browns somewhere in your comment. That way I can easily search it and pull the best ones. Because we're going to be doing a bracket challenge for all the best stadium names out there. That's how we're going to spend the month of June, just renaming the Brown Stadium, coming out the best one out there. So get all of your Dawg Pounds, all your Jim Brown, all your some municipal stadium, a little shout out to the Muni lot. Get it down in the comments with hashtag Browns. Honestly, it's tough to beat the Dawg Pound, right? And the issue is, have you ever heard of a stadium going from one name to another that isn't just a different sponsor? Right, there are some stadiums out there that have never given in and have held on to not being corporate, not putting a big corporation name on there. Like, I don't know, for example, the Bears, right? Still Soldier Field. They did not go and take on State Farm or some other big company in Illinois. So the Dawg Pound's the best one, right? There's some other good ones, but if it's just the Dawg Pound, can you beat that? Where are you guys playing this Sunday? We're at the Pound. We're at the Dawg Pound. We're going to get pounded at the Dawg Pound. All right, if you guys are ready to talk about some real football, though, and you're like, you know what? The offseason's fun and all during the draft and free agency, but can we start talking about X's and O's? Then subscribe, because if you're watching this right now in early June, you're a real one, right? You are a diehard Browns fan that does not clock out when the season is over. So hit that big red button and get locked in. Next up, we're going to look at that. Maybe the reason why you clicked on today's video, that crazy idea of swapping Baker Mayfield for Jimmy Garoppolo. We'll unpack that more in just a moment. But first, I got to tell you guys about today's proud sponsor, Aura, a financial fraud protection company that is also helping you out by keeping your identity safe when you are online, okay? Looking at my notes here, in 2020, 49 million Americans were victims of identity theft. And if you combine all their losses and costs, over $56 million, okay? Do not be a part of that statistic. Get online and device security, plus family plans that protect up to 5 people. When you go to aura.com/chatsports, they're giving you a 14-day free trial, a limited time offer. Just do not be a part of a statistic. We are online more than ever before. In my opinion, this is an absolute necessity because you do not want to be a victim of some of these hacksters out there. Now, to the meat, potatoes, the sauce, the drink, all 7 entrees of the video. Baker for Jimmy Garoppolo. I saw this on Twitter, and I wanted to disregard it, but I thought it'd be fun to kind of shoot it down a little bit. So, Ben Volin, I think, he works for the Boston Globe, and he tweeted this out yesterday. Putting on my GM hat for a minute, Ben, take it off. Baker for Garoppolo straight up. Who says no? Browns get 1 year of Watson insurance. Niners get a veteran backup for Lance. Each team gets rid of a contract it doesn't want. There's a lot to digest here, but let me just start off by saying no. 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 In any language you want, no. Because it's just not going to happen for a lot of reasons. But the first one I would say would be, why would the Browns want to take on a bigger contract, okay? When he talked about the Browns get a contract they don't want off their books and the Niners do the same, well, the Browns get a worse contract because look at the base salaries for these two players in 2022. Why would the Browns voluntarily take on an additional $6 million, okay? Now, is Jimmy G an upgrade over Baker, Brissett? That's a different discussion. But we're just talking about contracts here. There's no way you would say I'd rather have Jimmy Garoppolo's contract over Baker's contract. It's $6 million more. Now, let's at least explore the idea of, hey, would Jimmy Garoppolo be an improvement from Jacoby Brissett? Now, that has a lot of weight to it because I think it's true. I don't think there's much debate here. You compare their stats from last season, and, of course, Brissett played way less a year ago than Jimmy G did. But if that's not good enough for you where, hey, even though Jimmy G had more touchdowns and interceptions and yards, well, yeah, he played triple the games. What about their two best seasons, though? Because it's not really fair to compare Brissett last year when he only played 5 games to Jimmy G. So if you look at 2019, when the Niners went to the Super Bowl, and that was Jimmy G's best year, and when Brissett started 15 games for the Colts, what I would argue was his best year, it's still not really all that close, right? Garoppolo threw for 1,000 more yards. He had more touchdowns, granted more interceptions, but a way higher completion percentage. I don't think there's anyone out there, I hope there isn't anyone out there, trying to argue Jacoby Brissett is a better quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo. This isn't a video talking about if Garoppolo is a good quarterback or if the Browns should get him. This is just comparing the two because that's what it would be, right? If Deshaun Watson is suspended, should the Browns get Garoppolo over Jacoby Brissett? Not much of an argument that Jimmy G is better. So pick a quarterback for me, though. I'm not saying the Browns should do this because it doesn't make sense for them to pick on a $24 million contract for Jimmy G instead of rolling with Brissett, who they signed in free agency, and they have some level of trust in, right? There's a reason why they picked Brissett over Case Keenum when they traded him to Buffalo. Yeah, the Browns traded a quarterback this year. That's the funny thing, and it wasn't Baker Mayfield. But this idea of swapping Baker for Jimmy G belongs in Fantasyland. When you walk into Disney World, it's the first little part on your right. That's where my friend Ben should live right now, right next to Space Mountain and the little the People Mover that goes around. Because there's just no way that, let's say, for example, the 49ers want to do this, okay? They just picked Trey Lance. They just moved up in the draft a year ago, gave up a ton of assets to get this guy at number 3. There's just no way the 49ers would do this. You don't move on from Jimmy Garoppolo and hand Trey Lance the reins and go, we're not that confident in you, actually. So we're going to bring Baker along just as an insurance policy because you didn't look all that great in your limited time during your rookie season. So if you don't mind, Baker's just going to hang out on the side. Don't mind him. He's not going to take your job or anything. No, that's just not something Shanahan would entertain unless Trey Lance just looks inept throughout OTAs, rookie minicamp, mandatory minicamp, and into training camp. Now, as for the Browns side of things here, Jacoby Brissett he's going to start if Deshaun Watson is suspended. I can't believe we have to say this over and over again, but Baker Mayfield is not going to play a snap for the Browns in 2022. I've said it before, but I'll regurgitate it. If Baker takes a snap in 2022 for Cleveland, I am jumping in Lake Erie in December. I'm doing a polar plunge. I am that confident that neither the Browns are going to call him and say, do you mind coming back and playing a couple games? Or Baker's going to suck up his pride and play for a team in a city that pushed him out. Is it ideal? Sure. But we don't live in a utopia, okay? There's no way the stars are going to align for that to happen, even if that is the ideal outcome where Baker can improve his stock and the Browns can get a better quarterback out there for 4, 6, 8, however many games it could be. So that's where I stand on that. I also want to give some quick shout-outs to wrap up the show because these are people that watched the entire video, our last episode. So shout out to Master Dest, Breezo, my guy Chris, Irish Mike, Kid Wilson, he's always thirsty for shout-outs. Here you go. HNT is probably the MVP of our Browns live shows. Make sure you tune in for those Thursdays at 4 Eastern. Tim Harsh, Jameson Lyman, Anthony, Night Freight, and then we got my guy Ryan, Chad, and Philip. Philip, you didn't even comment, but, I figured we got an extra spot on the screen, so let's pick a random guy, and that was you, Philip. So shout out to all of you guys. Appreciate you for tuning in and always watching the entire show. Make sure you follow me on Twitter if you're not already, at Matthew Petey. The link's in the comments and the description. I tweet about the Browns, the NFL, and whatnot, so hit me up over there. That's going to do it for us. I'll see you guys later with more Browns news and rumors.